Hey everybody, this is me, the Undead Viking, and I can quite honestly say 10 years ago when I got into this hobby, and then, shortly thereafter started doing reviews, I can pretty much honestly say the idea that I would be sitting in front of a camera to talk to you about a game that is all about taking a poop in a cat would never ever occur. It's kind of like the old George Carlin thing. I'm gonna say a sentence that nobody has ever said again in the history of mankind. But here I am. I have this cute little kitty, and I played a game in which I had a giant deck of cards, and some of those cards are a pile of turd, and you are trying desperately not to be the person that takes a poop in the cat, or at least if you do, being able to successfully lie or bluff or pretend that it wasn't you, and so somebody else gets stuck holding the cat, if you will. But anyway, let me show you how to play this game. It is very quick, it is very fun, it is an adult game, so I mean, if this is a situation where you have kids that are watching these videos with you, please don't let them watch this one, but let them watch something else. But we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts as well. This is a lot of fun, so let's do this. Also, it's a good puppet. Meow. Alright, let's go ahead and learn how to play Who Beep in the Cat. Alright, so as I said, this is kind of an adult game, so if you have little children going to watch this, maybe you shouldn't have them watch it, but anyway, regardless. So you have a big giant deck of cards, beginning with every single person gets a poopy card, and this is their, the stuff that they might be putting in the cat, and you're trying to figure out if somebody has done that. So, in addition then, what each person does is they get 4 more cards. So they're going to have a total of 5 cards that are going to make up their hand. The first thing each player is going to do is they are going to go ahead and look at those 5 cards. So I got like a bowling. I have my poopy, the birthday bowling ball, 200 fruit by the feet, fork in the key of F, and a discord card. I'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. But then they take those cards, they know what they have, they shuffle them up like so, and they should try to remember what they are, and they're going to go ahead and place these face down in front of them like so. And each person's going to do that. They're going to have all 5 of their cards face down in front of them. So, on your turn, what's going to happen is you're going to select one card at random. You're going to look at it. Let's see what I got here. So I got the discord card. Actually, I'm going to put that back because I don't want to talk about the discord card just yet. So let's just take this one instead. So here, I got the 200 fruit by the feet. Now, and I should mention all these kind of crazy things. I did pick some of the more tamer ones, almost, but there are definitely some adulter cards in there. Just keep that in mind. I got some doubles in my deck, so like I had multiple fruits by the feet. But the situation is that when the game is published, they're going to have, each card is going to be unique. It's going to be a unique item. So anyway, so you have it, and what you're going to do is you're going to say, I got 200 fruit by the feet. Or you can say whatever you want, technically. And what you're going to do then is that you take the cat, and it has a spot there on the back, obviously, and then you just put the card in there like so nobody can see it, and then you put it down. And then the next person's going to do the exact same thing. They're going to take one of their cards in front of them, they're going to say what it is, and they're going to put it in front of them. However, what you can do if you don't want to draw one of your cards is you can turn to the last person and you can say, I think that you eat in the cat. And so that is the accusation. So when that occurs, what happens is that the person that gets accused, they're going to turn over each and every one of their cards. And as they turn these cards over, in tension mounts, they're going to sit there and they're going to look at the possibility that maybe did this person or did this person not in the cat. And so if they actually turn over and they have a poop card in front of them, that means that they did not. Now, they could have gotten another card. They could have gotten more cards dealt to them that had more poopy cards. So they might have put one in there. But the fact of the matter is that since they have one in front of them, they then are safe from being guilty of having pooped in the cat. And the person, if you accuse the person correctly, so let's say that wasn't a poopy card, I would have been the person that had taken a poop in the cat, and then that would make me the loser, and then you would just play another game. You start it up and do it all over again. Obviously, you're probably not accusing right away at the beginning, because this is a game where, as the game kind of drags on, you start to, the chances of somebody having a card, that poopy card, gets less and less as they put more and more cards into the cat. However, if you accuse somebody and you're wrong, the person that was wrongfully accused gets to take one card from in front of the other person that accused them, and they get to take that card and they get to look at it, not show it to anybody else. So if this is the card, they would look at it. And of course we get another discard card. Well, good. I can show this to you in just a little bit. But they look at it, they can say what it is, or they can lie. They could say, oh, this is the poop card. And they can go ahead and put it in the cat, or they can lie and say it's something else. And then they put it in. But they don't show it to anybody else, because then you're just kind of sowing the distrust and the misinformation that's going around around the table. So, and then obviously then you've reduced the number of cards that person has, and so it's making it easier for them to lose the game. Alright, so there are a couple of cards that actually have you do something. So the discard card, discard a player's card at random. Look at the card and announce it, and put it in the card. You don't have to tell the truth. It's exactly the same as if you falsely accuse somebody. It's the same, but you get a card that allows you to do that. There is one other card in the deck, and I'm going to find one for you. It's called the cheat card. And the cheat card basically allows you to search through the draw deck that's in front of everybody else, and allows you to go ahead and find one poopy card, or caca card, or whatever you want to call it, and then you're allowed to then put that, and you put it into your hand in front of you. You shuffle up the cards, obviously, because you want to be able to hide that from everybody else so they don't know what you have. And also because you aren't allowed to know either. So you have a cheat card like so that allows you to take one more of these guys and put it in front of you, so the chances of you losing are less as long as you have that. So that, in effect, is the entire game. Now, the game actually, it has basically 2 or 3 rules to it, but it's a lot more than that. It is the atmosphere of the game. It is being able to lie through your teeth, being able to bluff, being able to shift blame or shift the accusation over to somebody else. And it's meant to be very lighthearted and fun, and maybe having a few libations as you're playing it as well. But let me talk about all of that in my final thoughts, which I'll do right now. Alright, thank you very much for learning how to play, my cat. So, I showed this to my wife. I was like, hey, check this out. She's like, oh, what a cute little kitty. And then she looked at the side of the deck, which actually says, the premier pooping in a cat card game. So, there is non-premier versions of this game, apparently. Anyway, so I know the guys that made this game. In full disclosure, I consider Matthew a good friend. I've never met him personally, but we've talked on the phone many, many times, and we've had very many great conversations. When he approached me with this game, he basically said this was a game that he and his friends just came up with on the fly, just to go when they were going to go out and celebrate somebody's birthday party. And celebrate somebody's birthday at a party. So they just threw this game together totally on the fly, and everybody loved it. He said there was a bunch of people at the place, and this can handle up to 10 people. I suppose if you had more than one copy, you could even handle even more. And he said everybody was just engaged and having a blast, and they wanted to see if they could get it published. And so he asked me if I'd be willing to do a review, and I said, yeah, sure, because it sounded like a lot of fun. And like I said, you know what, I don't know how long I'm going to live, but if somebody actually asked me, hey, would you do a review of a game where you were pooping in a cat? And I said no, I consider that a total missed opportunity. And regardless, it turned out to be really fun. I played this with a mixed grab of people, both gamers, both family members, and friends of the family type of thing. And a lot of those people were non-gamers, and they all had the same reaction too. It's like, oh, he's cute. And then they found out what the game was, and they're like, oh, but as I said, the core mechanism of the game is the whole bluffing aspect. I've played lots of games where you shuffle up your own cards, and you don't know which cards you are, and then you have to kind of remember what cards are in front of you, and then as you draw them, knowing which cards you've used up, kind of thing. I mean, basically, obviously there's the two cards that have words on them and give you an extra special ability, if you will. But for the most part, it's just whether it's a poopy card or that isn't, and that's the two big things. And being able to keep a straight face when you pull up the card, see it, and then put it in the deck. And so, I mean, there is one possibility. I mean, that like you could possibly everybody run out of like your situation where people are running out of cards, and so you are getting to that weird moment where and I like that actually, because the game isn't supposed to be taken super seriously. So when people start running out of cards in front of their tableau in front of them, you have a situation there where it kind of forces the question and forces the accusation at that moment. But you do have a situation where maybe nobody's been successfully accused yet, and some people are running out of cards. You just continue playing the game until it basically ends in a draw, or somebody finally gets caught, putting the poop in the cat, if you will. But regardless, that had never happened for us. It was always because I have too many friends who are way too much into statistics, and they're in that weird situation where they're like, well, I'm most likely going to get accused the next turn or three, so I better make sure that I choose. And so they get into that weird moment, where they're going to pick. And I think most people, they're going to actually read into that as well to make sure they can. Once again, it is not a game to be taken seriously. It is a game that you are just having fun, and it's the whole process. It's the process of having the card, and you're like, oh, what card am I putting in the cat? And you're putting stuff in a cat's butt. I mean, okay, it's not meant to be brain science. It's meant to be fun, and fun is what it exactly is. So there you go. I don't know if you have any questions for it. Ask away. I don't know what you might want to know, other than the fact that just like do I have the sewing pattern for making a cat? I don't. I couldn't sew this together. My daughter could, though. My daughter thinks this thing is adorable, and I had to go and snag it out of her room. Actually, she's been using this as a dice cup. Actually, like when we play D&D, she's putting dice in here. Yeah, cool, right? I guess so. Dual purpose cat. All right, there you go. Thank you very much for taking time to watch this video. Thank you, as always, for your continued patronage. And until next time, I am the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. All right, bye-bye.